They more. But reparations, just like how they want reparations, we want reparations. And a part of our reparations is our identity. You see, reclaiming who we are as a people. That's all I want to say. You know?
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, the answer to that question is no. And it is no because for persons of African descent, in order to receive fair and honest judgment, there must be a nationalistic approach. And others may like this statement, but it must be Bahamians first. And we must tailor-make our system to also give the majority, which is of African descent, equal opportunity and equal focus. We all are aware that of the system that was described. We know that it's tailor-made to bring about, to a certain extent, a level of repression and so on. And so we have to operate from a nationalistic approach, from a majority approach, in order to bring about fairness and equity for descendants of slaves. And it must be a targeted approach. We just can't download laws from the UK and other places, and you call it cut and paste, and then take it to Parliament, as has been the practice. No, we must have a nationalistic approach. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Reverend Stewart. And ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to our last question of the night. Panelists will again have 2 minutes to respond. This is one of the questions from the audience. Can the panelists speak to how they plan to implement accountability around the things they say they are going to do? And are they willing to step down if measurable goals are not met? Senator Bell.
Good evening, everyone, again. In response to the question, I would submit that what is needed in the country is an independent semi-autonomous body which holds not only politicians but bodies that have quasi-judicial authority to ensure that there is accountability. Over the last 2 decades or so, both political parties, just to give you an example, have been toying with the idea of political campaign reform, fund reform. How do we give an account for what we receive? But no legislation, no commission, no report has been done. Unless and until we decide and determine that we're going to have the tenacity, and until you, the people, hold our hands to the fire to ensure that we implement reform, we never have accountability. Thank you very much.
I am a servant of the people. I have entered frontline politics not to play games, not to be driven around in a chauffeur-driven car with blue plates, not to hobnob with the rich and famous, but to make a difference. I said this to my leader, I said this to my party, and I said this to everyone who works with me on a daily basis. We in the FNM will introduce, and it's in our plan, okay, a recall system for under or non-performing MPs. I released my constituency plan on Sunday past, and this is the first constituency plan in the history of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas with a report card for an MP. The report card allows for the citizens or the residents of Mount Moriah to grade me every year based on my performance in the community, my performance in Parliament. All right? And I told every resident that I would have come in contact with, if at the end of the day my performance is an F, then I take that as a message from the constituents of my constituency that they no longer need me to run for another term. Unlike many politicians today. All right? Thank you.
Whenever and wherever one takes up the responsibility to ensure that, let's go to use the word justice again, they serve in an organization or in a society, accountability is a high expectation. I believe that all persons in the society should be held accountable for their actions, for their behavior. But I believe that officials, public officials, public servants, and the like, has a higher accountability to society to administer the services that's required by the society in a fair and balanced way and an efficient way, and also to represent the communities that they serve. And I believe if one should err, one should be corrected quickly and effectively. And I believe that if one should not meet the expected level of performance, services should be terminated. Thank you very much.
In response to the question, I believe, as I indicated earlier, that the BCP have stood for 19 years because they wish to introduce to the people of the Bahamas a new accountable system, a system of constitutional democracy where there is accountability, transparency in the system. I believe in institutional integrity, which means when we build the government or the new constitution, we have to put the integrity in the system, because men go wrong, women get corrupted. And when we are corrupted, if the system has the integrity in it, we have to be pulled because the integrity has already been built in the system. This is very important as we talk about a republic system of government and term limits and recall systems and impeachment opportunity. But in addition to that, we must put independent ombudsman opportunities or organization in the country where people who misbehave in office can be brought under subjection. As you know, we introduced the idea of servant leadership in politics some years ago. Now everybody wants to be a servant leader. And so we believe it is important that as we serve the people, that there has to be accountability, litmus testing, so that we will have effective people come forward who is able to stand with character. The core value is very important if we are going to produce a new kind of politics, a new kind of system in the country. And I think it's important as we look to the preamble of the Constitution, the Founding Fathers wanted us to look at these core values to be part of how we govern, how we go forward, how we live as a people. And I submit to you that if you've never read it before, go find it, look at it, and see what your responsibility is as a citizen.
Short answer. Accountability You know, we need a process in this society where the people take it involved in it. The people are part of the process. From the community level to the national level. That's where the accountability can come in. If all of us are part of the process, the decision making in our communities and on a national level, then that's where the accountability can come in. Real people power, you see. Because you can't do something wrong if I know about it, and all of us know about it. That's the check and balance to me, you know, bringing more people into the process. And we have so much committees in this country, so much commissions, but I know with these ain't working bodies. The wrong people on these things. I can tell you these things, I'm telling you that right now, you know. So we got a whole structure, what could be doing something, but that being controlled by people in their own interests, you know. And then this thing about being recalled, brothers and sisters, you know, it's easy for politicians to stand up right now and talk about recall, but recall come from a history, you know. You know, there's countries in the world that the philosophy of recalling has always been a part of their system, and those countries are socialist countries. That's what I don't understand when people use these philosophies, you know, just from something and don't even give people the history about it, you know. Recall comes that from socialist Russia, you know what I mean? That from Cuba, but they ain't to say that, you see, because it's philosophies where the people got the power, you see. You know how they want to do it. They want to spend a couple of dollars, try to drunk us up for this election so they can be in power for 5 years. 5 years, and we can't do nothing. We stuck with them for 5 years. We can't do nothing. But in the real politics, in the real, when you trying to build a real philosophy, the people got the power. If you don't make it no sense, you get out. You see what I'm saying? But they want to trap us for 5 years. That's what they want to do. You see? And so I believe in recall, and we need to know the history about it. That's why we know the importance of it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Bahamas National Coalition Party, in its 25-year development plan, has a department of accountability built into our structure. This department of accountability would be commissioned for the purpose of all areas of government and all actions by not only governmental, not only politicians, but civil servants and the like. The Bahamas National Coalition Party, so far as accountability is concerned, its hallmark, as we have preached for 3 years now, is not wrongdoing, but the appearance of wrongdoing. I noticed Mr. John Bain was here. I don't know if he's still here. He's one of the nation's foremost forensic auditors. Persons like he and the Auditor General of the Bahamas and the mechanism would allow for others in various other disciplines. They would have a lot of power in the regime of the Bahamas National Coalition Party. Because we're going to develop a system where financial impropriety is audited on a monthly basis, or of the finances of the Bahamas with regard to the various departments and so on, is audited on a monthly basis. And you don't have to wait until, of course by alternate internal auditors, and you don't have to wait until 5 years or a commission or a special this and that in order to know where wrongdoing is going on, and then you act when persons are out of office or their friends are in power, etc. The system that the BNCP will enact will be one of strict accountability, and you will get fired not only for wrongdoing, but the appearance of wrongdoing. Thank you.
Give our panelists a round of applause, please. That brings us to the close of this session, and I'd like to thank the Chair of Social Science, Dr. Christopher Curry, for organizing it, along with the Office of the Provost, Dr. Linda Davis, and I'd like Dr. Curry to give a vote of thanks. Thank you.